Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India NewsHour, India's voice to the world. I'm Mark Lynn. Namaskar. Coming up in the next hour. Israeli Security Cabinet approves Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal. The deal is expected to take effect on Sunday. Russian President Vladimir Putin says a new treaty with Iran will add momentum to the ties between the two countries. Former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan gets 14 years prison term sentence in a land corruption case. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is focusing on development of green technology, EVs, hydrogen fuel and biofuels. Also lists out his vision of 7 Cs for mobility solutions. India's President Draupadi Murmu presents the Sports and Adventure Awards for 2024. The Israeli Security Cabinet has recommended approving the Gaza ceasefire and hostage return deal. The ceasefire would halt fighting that has razed much of the heavily urbanized Gaza, killed over 46,000 people and displaced most of the tiny enclave's pre-war population. The deal would come into force on Sunday with the release of the first lot of hostages. Here's our report.
The Israeli Security Cabinet has approved ceasefire deal with Hamas and the release of hostages. The deal will pause the 15-month war for an initial 6 weeks. Hamas is expected to release the first hostages on Sunday. Earlier, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu headed an operational security assessment meeting with members of the negotiation team that returned from Doha on the implementation of the Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal. The agreement would halt fighting and bombardment in Gaza's deadliest ever war and initiate the release of dozens of hostages held in the territory since Hamas's October 7, 2023 attack on Israel. As per the deal, hundreds of Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails would also be released in ensuing weeks. Meanwhile, Hamas in a statement said that it was committed to the deal and all obstacles that arose in relation to the terms of the ceasefire agreement have been resolved. Even before the start of the truce, Gazans displaced by the war to other parts of the territory have started preparing to return to their homes. In Israel, there was joy, but also pain over the fate of hostages who have died or been killed since their capture.
This deal comes too late for my son Guy, whose life will not be saved, but he can be brought back home to burial here. Our work is not done. We will not rest until every hostage is home, the living and the dead. They all need to return to us.
The ceasefire deal is also hailed across the globe. Hundreds of pro-Palestinians rallied in Jakarta to celebrate ceasefire deal. Canada also witnessed such scenes of celebration. Hundreds of people rallied in front of the Israeli Consulate and called for an end to the war in Gaza. Bureau Report, DD India.
My colleague Jessica Taneja joins us in the studio and she's been tracking developments closely. Well, Jessica, thanks for being with us. Is there a timeline now for the hostages? Or is there a timeline for the hostage release? And how is the deal being phased?
Well, there is a timeline, Mark, but if you look at how contentious it has been for the last few days and how the negotiations have taken place, especially when it comes to hostages, we'll try and break down to make our viewers understand as to what timeline is being deliberated upon so far. But we're still, of course, waiting a ratification from the Israeli parliament while the Security Cabinet has approved the ceasefire agreement, at least on the implementation of the first phase. On how it will go, well, of course, one will wait for that. But in the first phase, there will be 33 hostages released by Hamas, according to the draft also released by Hamas as well there, wherein we're expecting, in return, Israel would also release Palestinian prisoners, up to hundreds of them, and of course the hesitancy and the reluctance to release those Palestinian prisoners, according to Israel, because of their crime records. But what has been agreed upon is that Israel would want to release Palestinian prisoners who were caught apparently nothing to do with the October 7 attacks. So that assessment is also going to factor in. But the release of hostages, of course, further we will see in the progress of the deal, how the 33 will be negotiated. Reports emerged that 3 Israeli civilian female would first be part of that, and also could include the American citizens and other nationalities. But so far, that is what has been agreed upon, and we'll wait for more details on the clarification of the deal and how it progresses further.
Certainly. And talking about that progress, will the ceasefire hold is what people are asking. You know, I mean, what challenges does Netanyahu face? One would presume that he has problems back at home, and there's a new government taking office in the United States, and he's probably hoping to bank on Trump's support.
Yes, Mark. Interesting turn of events in the last few days. The same ceasefire deal that was on the table back in May by the Biden administration. A lot of people trying to understand what has changed since May to now. Well, the elections in the United States, to begin with, has of course changed the course of how negotiations have reached at a point which is just one day before the Trump presidency inauguration at the White House. So looking at that, and also perhaps the kind of pressure Benjamin Netanyahu faced during the Biden administration, many would say that the reason it was being dragged for that long would be Benjamin Netanyahu's own domestic troubles, especially within his fragile right-wing coalition. You saw with the National Security Minister, Ben-Gvir, who would threatening to withdraw support of his party, and that is when you see Benjamin Netanyahu recently replaced the foreign minister with Gideon Saar, who brought in his support for the coalition to be sustained for some time as the country needs political stability. But those reasons then didn't work. His own political limitations didn't work with Trump, because for Donald Trump, he would prioritize his presidency over Benjamin Netanyahu's political interests back home. And perhaps it's not just limited to credit war, but Trump's limitation of letting an endless war drag further. It's already been 470 days, so there was a lot in there to be achieved.
Indeed, we leave it there. Thank you very much, Jessica Taneja, for joining us on this particular story. Now, moving on to our next story. In fact, it's the same story. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz on Friday welcomed the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. And speaking at a press conference in Berlin, Scholz said that all the hostages must be released and the remains of the dead hostages must be handed over to the families.
It will be crucial for the agreement to be implemented consistently step by step. In the end, all the hostages must be released and the bodies of the dead hostages must be handed over to their families, so that they can say their goodbyes in dignity.
Well, inaugurating the Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025, the largest mobility expo in India, in Delhi, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India's journey in the mobility sector would be a transformative one, and that India is all set. In fact, India is all set to witness exponential growth. DDI India correspondent Tapas Bachara provides us with the details.
The Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025, India's largest and most anticipated mobility event, kicked off in a grand style as India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated its second edition at Bharat Mandapam in India's national capital, New Delhi, on Friday. This year's theme, Beyond Boundaries, Co-creating future automotive value chain, underscores the power of collaboration, innovation, and sustainability to revolutionize the global mobility landscape. PM Modi said that the journey of developed India in the mobility sector is set to be one of unprecedented transformation and is set to witness exponential growth.
भारत की सबसे बड़ी युवा आबादी, मिडिल क्लास का लगातार बढ़ता दायरा, तेजी से होता अर्बनाइजेशन, भारत में बन रहा आधुनिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मेक इन इंडिया से अफोर्डेबल व्हीकल, ये सारे फैक्टर्स भारत में ऑटो सेक्टर की ग्रोथ को पुश करने वाले हैं, नई ताकत देने वाले हैं.
With a whopping 500,000 visitors expected to make footfall at the event, the expo offers a glimpse into the future of transportation. From electric and hybrid vehicles to cutting-edge connected and autonomous technologies, the event has something for everyone. PM Modi also gave a mantra of 7 Cs, which will reshape India's mobility solution.
बीते साल में भारत की ऑटो इंडस्ट्री करीब 12% की ग्रोथ से आगे बढ़ी है. मेक इन इंडिया, मेक फॉर द वर्ल्ड के मंत्र पर चलते हुए अब एक्सपोर्ट भी बढ़ रहा है. इतनी तो दुनिया के कई देशों की पॉपुलेशन नहीं है जितनी हर साल भारत में गाड़ियां बिक रही हैं. एक साल में करीब 2.5 करोड़ गाड़ियां बिकना, ये दिखाता है कि भारत में डिमांड लगातार कैसे बढ़ रही है.
India now stands as an outstanding destination for every investor looking to shape their future in the mobility sector.
With innovation and sustainability at its core, Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025 sets the stage for a transformative future in mobility. As global and Indian players collaborate, the expo promises to redefine the way we move and connect. With camera person Monty, this is Tapas Bachara for DDI India from Delhi.
When Prime Minister Narendra Modi has invited investments from all sectors that see their future in mobility, promising government support at every level in the world's third largest car market. Among those sectors is green hydrogen. India has set an ambitious target of producing 5 million metric tons of green hydrogen per annum by 2030. This report provides us with some context.
Prime Minister Modi's 7 Cs for India's mobility: common, connected, convenient, congestion-free, charged, clean, cutting edge. Of the 7 Cs, let's focus a little on clean and zero in on green hydrogen. In September 2024, he addressed the second International Conference on Green Hydrogen, emphasizing the importance of energy transition and sustainability in global policy.
Green hydrogen is emerging as a promising addition to the world's energy landscape. It can help in decarbonizing industries that are difficult to electrify. Refineries, fertilizers, steel, heavy-duty transportation, many such sectors will benefit.
India's green hydrogen mission aims to create demand, address supply constraints, and build an enabling ecosystem. It plans to develop green hydrogen hubs and support pilot projects in sectors like low-carbon steel, mobility, and shipping. On January 8, 2025, Prime Minister Modi highlighted how a green hydrogen hub would transform Visakhapatnam's economy.
हमारा लक्ष्य है 2030 तक 5 मिलियन मैट्रिक टन्स ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन का प्रोडक्शन. इसके लिए शुरुआती चरण में 2 ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन हब स्थापित होंगे, जिनमें से एक हमारा विशाखापट्टनम है.
Indian Railways developed a 1,200 horsepower hydrogen train engine set for a trial run on the Jin-Sonipat route. These trains will eventually cut emissions on non-electrified tracks. In September, Prime Minister urged more public-private collaboration at the International Green Hydrogen Conference.
Startups and entrepreneurs who are working in this domain are being encouraged. There is also a great potential for a green jobs ecosystem to develop. To enable this, we are also working on skill development for our youth in this sector.
Since May 2024, Indian Oil has operated 15 hydrogen fuel cell buses in Delhi NCR for a green hydrogen trial. In September, Bhutan's Prime Minister Shirink Topke rode one of these buses.
The fact that the bus can carry so many people so quietly and knowing that it is generating nothing but water as a waste product.
Clearly, the potential of green hydrogen is immense and is perhaps a multi-dimensional solution to clean mobility. Bureau Report, DD India.
The Auto Expo Components Show at Bharat Mobility 2025 was inaugurated as well today. And the Auto Components Show at Yashobhoomi Dwarka, Delhi, it showcases the future where mobility is smarter, it's safer and more sustainable. Piyush Goyal, who's India's Union Minister for Commerce and Industry, inaugurated this largest ever auto components show at Dwarka in Delhi. And this expo, it serves as a hub for innovation and collaboration in the automotive sector. Bharat Mobility 2025 is hosted at Yashobhoomi, Bharat Mandapam, as well as the Indo Expo Mart and Centre. And in fact, this focus is on green mobility, autonomous technologies as well, and electrification. That's the focus, in line with the government's vision of making India a global manufacturing hub.
Every automobile sold in India can become an electric automobile. And in 2025, 9 years later, as I see the progress in the sector, as I see two-wheeler and three-wheelers almost entirely moving to electric, maybe it's a matter of a year or two, where save and accept some very high torque or high horsepower two-wheelers, two and three-wheelers would be almost completely electric. Buses and trucks which run long distances in a day are a guaranteed proposition to turn electric.
And still to come here on DD India NewsHour. The French President Emmanuel Macron urges total withdrawal of Israeli forces from Lebanon as part of the ceasefire deal. The EU Crisis Management Chief meets with Syria's new leader Ahmed al-Shahara in Damascus. The German Chancellor Olaf Scholz says Elon Musk's backing of the far right endangers democracy.
What will be Trump 2.0's foreign policy outlook? Can we expect something different this time? How will different countries adjust to Trump's disruptive as well as unusual presidency?
The optimistic scenario, which I think Donald Trump actually wants to see, is essentially a great power concert. He wants a world in which the United States and China and Russia and India, great powers, and to quote Thucydides, he likes to live in a world where great powers, do what they can and weaker powers suffer what they must.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Mark Lynn. The French President Emmanuel Macron arrived in Lebanon on Friday to push for swift government formation, aiming to expedite reforms and facilitate post-war reconstruction following last year's conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. In a joint press conference with the Lebanese President Joseph Aoun, Macron called for the immediate and complete withdrawal of Israeli forces from Lebanon under the terms of the ceasefire agreement with Hezbollah.
I was able to assess the situation this morning with the French and American commanders. Results have been achieved with an Israeli withdrawal to the west, but they must be accelerated and confirmed over time. And there must be a total withdrawal of Israeli forces and a total monopoly of arms by the Lebanese army. That is why we support, and I would like to reiterate this forcefully, the build-up of the Lebanese armed forces and their deployment in the south of the country.
Russian President Vladimir Putin and his Iranian counterpart Masoud Pezeshkian signed a comprehensive strategic partnership treaty on Friday. Russian and Iranian officials said that the treaty covers all areas of trade and military cooperation to science, education and culture. President Putin praised the deal as a real breakthrough, creating conditions for a stable and sustainable development of both Russia and Iran.
One of the biggest political developments of the year 2025 is taking place in Russia, where the president of Iran, Masoud Pezeshkian, held talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin, after which a broad cooperation pact was signed. President Pezeshkian is on his first Kremlin visit since winning the presidency in July last year.
We are very glad to see you all in Moscow. Your visit today is of particular importance because we will not only have the opportunity to discuss all areas of our cooperation, but we will also sign a major basic agreement between Russia and Iran on a comprehensive strategic partnership.
The Comprehensive Strategic Partnership Treaty covers all areas from trade and military cooperation to science, education and culture. The Iranian president is hopeful that he will be able to finalize an agreement on building a nuclear power plant with the help of Russia.
The agreement that we have in place for the nuclear power station, the work is progressing well, and related agreements that we have in this area will be finalized during our meetings and will be actioned.
Earlier, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian was greeted by Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin at Russia's White House, the seat of government, during his visit to Moscow. Ahead of his meeting with Russia's President Putin, Iranian President attended a wreath-laying ceremony in Moscow. Pezeshkian is accompanied to Moscow by his oil minister. Bureau Report, DD India.
And the EU Crisis Management Chief Hajja Lahbib on Friday met Syria's new leader Ahmed al-Sharha. This happened at the Presidential Palace in Damascus. This is the first visit by a senior EU official to Syria since Bashar al-Assad's ouster. And during the meeting, al-Habib, in fact, announced a €235 million aid package for Syria and its neighboring countries. The German Chancellor Olaf Scholz on Friday condemned Elon Musk's support for far-right movements in Europe, calling it completely unacceptable. This follows Musk's appeal to Germans to vote for the far-right Alternative for Germany party during a broadcast with the party's leader on his social media platform last week.
He supports the far right everywhere in Europe, in the UK, in Germany, in many other countries. And that is something that is completely unacceptable. It endangers the democratic development of Europe, it endangers our community, and that must be criticized. His partisanship in favor of extreme right, whether for business interests or for the reason that have something to do with his own political views, is unacceptable.
And Imran Khan, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, has been sentenced to 14 years imprisonment in a land corruption case. The verdict in this case was delivered by an anti-graft court in a prison in Rawalpindi, where Khan has been jailed since August of 2023. His wife, Bushra Bibi, has also been found guilty and sentenced to 7 years in prison. She was out on bail, in fact, and was taken into custody after this judgment was pronounced. And his supporters, of course, called this a witch hunt. Let's look at this report.
A Pakistan court on Friday convicted former Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi in a graft case, sentencing Imran Khan to 14 years in prison and his wife to spend 7 years behind the bars. Bushra Bibi was out on bail but was taken into custody after the judgment was pronounced. The verdict in £190 million fraud case, the largest in terms of financial wrongdoing faced by the former Prime Minister, was delivered by an anti-graft court in a prison in the garrison city of Rawalpindi, where Imran Khan has been jailed since August 2023. Imran Khan has been held in custody since August 2023, charged with around 200 cases, but his party claims that the latest conviction was being used to pressurize him into stepping back from politics. The conviction comes a day after a rare meeting between PTI leaders and the government aimed at easing political tensions. A post on Imran Khan's account on microblogging site citing his message from jail said that the jurisdiction has further destroyed its reputation after the black verdict of Al Qadir Trust case. Calling it a witch hunt and political victimization, chairman of Imran Khan's Pakistan's Tehreek-e-Insaf party, Gohar Khan, said that the party would file an appeal with the Islamabad High Court.
It is actually a witch hunt. It's political victimization. Khan Sahib has done no wrong. He has committed no crime. He is simply there in the jail just to put a pressure on him, and it's a political victimization. We would file an appeal against these judgments and sentences in the Islamabad High Court, and we hope he will get justice, inshallah.
The 72-year-old former premier has been indicted on charges that he and his wife were gifted land by a real estate developer during his premiership from 2018 to 2022 in exchange for illegal favors. Khan and Bibi had pleaded not guilty. Bureau Report, DD India.
In today's fast-paced digital world, scammers are exploiting every opportunity to target unsuspecting individuals, from fraudulent messages to fake calls. The threat is real and growing. And to address this pressing issue, the Ministry of Communications in India, they have launched a new mobile app to safeguard citizens against digital fraud. DD India's Rahul Upadhyay brings us this report.
In the era of digital convenience, scammers and fraudsters are exploiting the internet to deceive innocent individuals with false promises and fabricated emergencies. Thousands of people across the country are falling victim to these cyber criminals, losing their hard-earned money in the process on a daily basis. India's rapid growth in online transactions has also brought an unprecedented surge in cyber fraud cases. To address this growing concern, the Government of India has introduced a landmark initiative to enhance telecom security, accessibility and consumer empowerment across the nation. India's Minister for Communications, Jyotiraditya Scindia, launched the Sanchar Sathi mobile app in New Delhi on Friday. This app empowers telecom users with features to report fraudulent activities, block lost or stolen handsets, and manage mobile connections. The minister highlighted that these initiatives lay the groundwork for a transformative revolution in India's telecom sector.
जो संचार साथी हमारा पोर्टल था, आज उसे ऐप के रूप में आपके फोन पर हर एक उपभोक्ता को उपलब्ध करा दिया गया है। जो 25 लाख फोन चोरी किए गए थे, जिनको डिस्कनेक्ट किया गया, उसमें से 15 लाख भी हमने ट्रेस भी कर ली। तो टेक्नोलॉजी सुविधा बहुत देती है और हमारा संचार साथी पोर्टल और अब जो ऐप लॉन्च हुआ है, वो एक पहरेदार के रूप में सभी को सुरक्षित रखेगा। इसका पूर्ण विश्वास जो पोर्टल ने हमको करके दिखाया है, अब वो आपके फोन पर ऐप भी और तीव्र गति से करके दिखाएगा।
Now let's explore the key features of the Sanchar Sathi mobile app and how it protects consumers from fraudulent activities. The app enables citizens to report suspected fraud communications and manage all mobile connections registered under their name. It facilitates the swift blocking, tracing, and recovery of lost or stolen mobile devices. Additionally, users can easily verify the authenticity of mobile handsets, ensuring they purchase only genuine devices. The Sanchar Sathi app is not just another mobile application. It's a comprehensive telecom security solution. The app provides a holistic approach to telecom safety, and it's designed to ensure users can easily navigate its features without any technical difficulties. Rahul Upadhyay's report for DD India.
Let's take a look at other stories making the news from around the world. The Mexican Navy dismantled a drug laboratory in the northern state of Sinaloa in a successful raid. Authorities also seized 15 kgs of synthetic drugs, along with a significant amount of chemical precursors and equipment during this operation. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano came back to life again after its eruption resumed from Wednesday. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory said that the lava fountain's height would increase in coming days as more gas-rich lava reaches the surface. The volcano is one of the world's most active volcanoes, erupting almost continuously since 1983. The British actor Joan Plowright, the winner of 2 Golden Globe Awards and a Tony Award, has died at the age of 95. Her family has confirmed on Friday. The Society of London Theatre announced that playhouses across London's West End will dim their lights for 2 minutes in remembrance at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Rhythmic beats echoed through Tunisia's Opera Theatre stage on Friday as dancers faced off at the first ever edition in the Arab world of a street dance tournament. And this happens annually in Paris. This global competition focuses exclusively on upright dance styles like popping, locking and hip-hop. What's still to come here on DD India NewsHour? We'll be discussing the transition to cleaner, greener mobility with an expert. The United States opens its consulate in Karnataka's capital, Bengaluru.
The Mahakumbh Mela is not just a spiritual gathering. It's a vibrant cultural celebration. Artists, performers from all over the country and beyond come here to showcase their talent. We see a shared humanity where heritage is preserved, cultures converge, and unity is forged through devotion and mutual respect.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Mark Lynn, and let's now talk to Pavan Guntupalli, who's joining us. He's the co-founder of Rapido. We talk about the future of mobility. Thank you, Mr. Guntupalli. What's the future of taxi services, let's say? Already we see e-vehicles are getting very popular. Can we say that taxis, autos, rides for hire in the future are going to bring about a greener transition faster?
Definitely. I think that is the way of the future. And I think even today my experience at Bharat Mobility at Pragati Maidan, it actually really showed how far India has come in the mobility sector. When we started Rapido 10 years ago, India was just a large consumer market, but not actually a leader in pushing the mobility sector forward. But today at the Expo, I actually saw a diverse set of made in India innovations, from electric scooters to battery swapping to advanced public transportation systems.
Indeed,
Yeah.
but what's the potential then of green hydrogen in your opinion?
Green hydrogen. So I think, in my view, all these technologies, including green hydrogen and the electric vehicle charging, everything, they will coexist. Solar, all these sustainable and renewable energy sources, I think they'll all coexist.
Okay, what's the impact of the government's heavy expenditure, capex, on infrastructure and the budgets, Has it helped the auto sector to sort of grow faster?
Definitely. I think when Modi ji says Make in India, I just don't think it is about building an ecosystem that is about manufacturing. It is actually about building an ecosystem that can compete globally. An ecosystem of maybe companies, policymakers, innovations and partnerships all together. Right now, if you see, just in this expo, there are many clean energy solutions and infrastructure required to enable that EV ecosystem. I see all these developments clearly pointing out to one loud and clear message. India is actually serious about achieving a greener and a more sustainable future.
Okay, so India continues to be the fastest growing large economy, and India's growth is also driven largely by entrepreneurs like you with ideas, innovation. So what kind of a role is innovation playing in keeping this kind of growth momentum going? Are we sort of at the cutting edge? Because one of the C's that the Prime Minister talked about is cutting edge.
Yes. Like if you come to the and this expo was actually captured the essence of this Atmanirbhar Bharat, where entrepreneurs across every corner of the country are developing cutting-edge solutions. There were literally a lot of AI and IoT solutions for each problem in the country, for each problem in the mobility sector. I think India is unique in this way that our tier 1 markets like the Delhis and Mumbais and the tier 2 markets like, let's say, Siliguri, Warangal and Jorhat, each of these cities have different problems, different set of infrastructure. And today I could see that a lot more entrepreneurs are coming up with a lot more unique and customized solutions for our country. And even at Rapido, if you see, we started with bike taxi. And while bike taxi exists, is more popular in the tier 1 cities, but even in tier 2 and tier 3 cities also, we do 40% of our rides only in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And just, coming up with a solution that is more relevant to that place, to that city, to that user. I think I'm seeing all of that happening right before us.
Indeed. So let's look at investments also. What kind of investments are expected, or also needed in this mobility sector? And do you see that there may be a gap, a resource gap, and maybe difficulty also in trying to find finances?
I think it's a journey. It's a journey. Definitely, already from 10 years ago to right now, I definitely see the amount of investments happening, especially in turning mobility to a much more cleaner and much more sustainable. Whether it be in the solar, whether it be in setting up charging ecosystem, or whether it be innovation in batteries, whether it be in getting much more stronger in going to even more core like lithium mining. So I see that the country has been steadily investing, and you can see the results. At least today, I myself have witnessed battery technologies that are way more lighter and way more faster as compared to any time ever in this country. And to that extent, that now I don't think we are just building for India. I think these solutions can compete on a global stage as well.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Pavan Guntupalli. Thank you for joining us and helping us to understand the mobility sector from within. Thanks for being with us. Now, moving on to our next story, the TVS Motor Company is a leading global automaker in the 2- and 3-wheeler segment, and it's showcasing a range of future mobility concepts, including EVs, at the Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025. DD India's Tapas Bachara spoke to Manu Saxena, who's the Vice President of EV Business of TVS Motors.
You can see this concept bike that TVS has. It's a very unique concept. In Bharat Mobility, you will find such concept bikes, concept cars. And to talk about that, I have with me Manu Saxena, who is leading the EV bandwagon in the TVS. Sir, tell us, if I have to ask you, a couple of major uniqueness of this particular scooter.
So, see, this is a concept. The uniqueness is not very different from how we see the commuting space moving forward, right? So, commuting space has convenience taken to the different level. It has comfort taken to a different level. It has cost of running taken to a different level. Connectivity to a different level, and this amalgamation is what is brought in here in different manner.
So we see this unique concept that is coming up, and Bharat Mobility is a place where you will find this kind of unique concepts in both cars, in bikes and everything, and that's what makes Bharat Mobility such a huge success.
Also among the automakers which are showcasing their products and future concepts at Bharat Mobility is the South Korean brand Hyundai, and Tapas Bachara also spoke to their head in India. Let's listen to what he said.
Right now in Hyundai's pavilion, and to talk about Hyundai's vision for going forward, I have with me the CMO Gopal Krishnan. Sir, tell me, you've been here in this company and Hyundai has been going big when it comes to EV and related sustainable future. What is your take on the next generation of Hyundai cars?
Actually, we are fully committed to India, and we have been offering feature-rich products to the Indian customers and global customers as well. And we have been very successful over the last 27 years. And we had a very good experience with our Ioniq brand. It was rated global, one of the best EV cars. And we are going to launch the Creta EV. And Creta, of course, it's a great brand. The launch of Creta EV will attract the Indian customers, and it will be definitely a game changer in the Indian automotive industry.
Well, that was the Chief Manufacturing Officer of Hyundai India. Now, India's Defence Minister, terming this decade as a volatile decade, has said that considering the wars that are raging on across the world, India is boosting its defence and offence capabilities and adopting critical technologies. The Defence Minister was speaking at a function in New Delhi on Friday, which was celebrating the role of civilians working in the Navy. The Indian Navy celebrated 2024 as the year of the naval civilian, and the Defence Minister awarded 25 civilian employees of the Navy for their meritorious as well as distinguished service.
दुनिया भर में रक्षा सुरक्षा का माहौल लगातार तनावपूर्ण होता जा रहा है और अभी जिस डिकेड में हम हैं, हम डिफेंस एंड सिक्योरिटी पर्सपेक्टिव में आकलन करें, इसका मूल्यांकन करें, तो लगभग आधा दशक बीत जाने के बाद हम ये कह सकते हैं कि यह एक प्रकार की वोलेटाइल डिकेड है। पूरी दुनिया में अलग अलग क्षेत्रों में हमें कई सारे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स और वार्स देखने को मिल रहे हैं और इन चीजों को ध्यान में रखते हुए हमें अपने सिक्योरिटी के लिए प्लानिंग और रिसोर्सिंग और बजटिंग की भी जरूरत है। हमें अपने क्रिटिकल कैपेबिलिटी को बढ़ाना होगा और साथ ही आने वाले समय में अपने ऑफेंसिव और डिफेंसिव दोनों ही रेस्पॉन्सेस को मजबूत करने की ओर भी ध्यान देना ही होगा।
India's Ministry of Defence has signed a contract with Bharat Dynamics Limited for the supply of medium-range surface-to-air missiles, MRSAM, for the Indian Navy, and this is costing approximately 2,960 crore rupees. The MRSAM system is a standard fit. It's planned to be fitted on the majority of future platforms arranged for acquisition. With the emphasis on self-reliant India, the missiles would be supplied by BDL under the Buy Indian category, and this is largely an indigenous content. So the contract is expected to generate employment of approximately 3.5 lakh man-days in the defence sector, including various MSMEs. The US Consulate officially opened its Southern India Bengaluru office on Friday morning, and speaking on the occasion, the US Ambassador Garcetti said that the US President has kept his promise of opening more consulates in India. India's External Affairs Minister also joined the opening ceremony of the US Consulate in Bangalore. India's External Affairs
was so vast, the sky's the limit. But after yesterday, I think the sky is no longer the limit. It is to space and beyond. Congratulations to India on that big day. But today we fulfill a commitment made by our leaders during Prime Minister Modi's state visit to Washington last year. And it was actually in one of the preparatory meetings we had when the Secretary of State came here before G20 that we were at Hyderabad House in Delhi. And Minister Jaishankar took me aside and said, hey, we want you to open up more consulates here. And ever since, the Indian government has been pushing and pushing, and we've had a bureaucracy in America too. But President Biden put in the leader's statement with Prime Minister Modi that this would happen. And today, a promise made is a promise kept.
When India's External Affairs Minister Jaishankar also announced that India will soon be opening its consulate in Los Angeles.
When I envision where we are going, our ties are going, our cooperation is going, I think Bengaluru has such an important place, Karnataka has such an important place. that again, it was it was for me an imperative that there is a permanent, resident presence of American diplomats in this town. It was from really, I would say, the cross-section of the society. It was from business, it was from the tech world, it was from academics, it was from, it was from people you would meet in a restaurant. We will be opening our consulate in Los Angeles also fairly soon.
In a major breakthrough, security forces killed 12 Naxalites in fierce encounters in Bijapur district of Chhattisgarh. The encounter ensued when a joint team of security personnel were conducting an anti-Naxalite operation in the forest of South Bijapur region. Authorities said that no harm was reported to security forces during the incident. Still to come here on DD India NewsHour. The US Supreme Court clears the way for TikTok ban to take effect in the United States. And we'll get you the updates from the Kumbh 2025 at Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh.
The Kumbh Mela is not just a spiritual gathering. It's a vibrant cultural celebration. Artists, performers from all over the country and beyond come here to showcase their talent. We see a shared humanity where heritage is preserved, cultures converge, and unity is forged through devotion and mutual respect.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Mark Lynn. The US Supreme Court on Friday upheld a law that will ban TikTok in the United States, potentially denying the video sharing app to 170 million users in the United States on January 19. Now, in a major defeat for TikTok, the court ruled that the law does not violate free speech rights and that the US government had demonstrated legitimate national security concerns about a Chinese company owning the app. Let's get you the sports news now. And India's President Draupadi Murmu conferred the National Sports Awards 2024 on athletes, sportspersons and coaches on Friday at the Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. 4 athletes were honoured with the country's highest sports award, that's the Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. 34 athletes were awarded the Arjuna Award for outstanding performance. Let's look at this report.
The National Sports Awards 2024 were given by the President at a ceremony held at Rashtrapati Bhavan on Friday. D. Gukesh, Manu Bhakar, Harmanpreet Singh, Praveen Kumar were honoured with the country's highest sports award, the Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. 18-year-old D. Gukesh earned the World Chess Championship title, becoming the youngest ever to do so. He is also the second Indian after Vishwanathan Anand to win this title. He was part of the men's team that won gold in the Chess Olympiad. 22-year-old Manu Bhakar became the first Indian woman to win an Olympic medal in shooting by securing a bronze in the women's 10-meter air pistol event at the Paris Olympics. She later won another bronze in the 10-meter air pistol mixed team event with Sarabjot Singh, making her the first Indian woman to win 2 Olympic medals in a single game.
Khel Ratna is one of the highest, most prestigious award of the country, and definitely it's an honor to receive the prestigious award. And of course, it is an inspiration to work even harder in future and try and win more medals for my country. I have been training for last 2.5 months, so on regular basis. Competitions are coming soon, I would say end of this month or next month. Yeah.
Harmanpreet Singh played a crucial role in leading the Indian hockey team to a second consecutive bronze medal at the Paris Olympics, finishing as the tournament's top scorer with 10 goals. Para-athlete Praveen Kumar won a gold medal in the T64 category high jump at the Paris Paralympics, setting an Asian record. He had previously won a silver medal at the Tokyo Paralympics. In addition, 34 athletes were awarded the Arjuna Award for outstanding performance in athletics, boxing, chess, hockey, badminton, shooting.
It's a special day for a little bit for me because मेरे जो कोच है दीपाली देशपांडे उनको भी अर्जुन अवार्ड मिला है एंड एक साथ वहाँ पे पोडियम पे या राष्ट्रपति भवन में लेने के लिए एक मौका मिलता है. काफ़ी कम लोगों को मिलता है कोच के साथ वहाँ पे जाने के लिए, तो इस बार मुझे इस साल मिला है, तो आई एम लकी एंड आई एम हैप्पी फॉर दैट.
Moreover, Subhash Rana, Deepali Deshpande and Sandeep Sangwan received the Dronacharya Award 2024. These awards aim to encourage and recognize the dedication, performance and progress of individuals and institutions in the field of sports. Abhishek Mahajan's report, TD India.
Well, the coach of the Paris Olympians, Swapnil Kushal and Arjun Babuta, Deepali Deshpande, received the Dronacharya Award at the Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. In an exclusive conversation with DD India's Abhishek Mahajan, she spoke about the government's role in bringing sports to the forefront.
Dronacharya awardee and also the coach of Swapnil Kushal, Arjun Babuta, shooting coach. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to DD India. First of all, how big is this award for you, ma'am, and how was the feeling getting the award from the President of India?
Award to bada hai because it is, these are the oldest awards, like it has a history and it has, that respect in the minds of Indians for these awards. So yeah, of course it matters. And I always wanted it with my shooters, one of my trainees. I wanted it to receive with them.
How do you see the future of shooting in India?
Future is really bright. Lot of young shooters doing really well, and we have amazing pool of talent. And I'm really excited for the next Olympic cycle, because now after two unusual cycles, now we will have a normal cycle.
And fair to say that your hard work has paid off?
Yeah, definitely.
Does it give a lot of motivation getting the recognition from the government?
Yeah, definitely. Now it is for everyone to see how the way we are performing, not just in shooting, but in all sports. And Olympic sports cannot, wouldn't have survived without government support anyways. But now, because of government support, we are doing so well, and because of that, now we are getting support from private sectors also.
Government of India plays a big role, and yes, private sector is also helping, and then sky is the limit for the shooters. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for speaking with DD India. With cameraman Kumar Datta, this is Abhishek Mahajan in Delhi for DD India.
The ICC Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup, featuring 16 teams, is set to begin from Saturday in Malaysia. 16 teams will be divided into 4 groups, with the top 3 from each group progressing to the Super 6 stage. From there, the top 2 teams from each Super 6 group will advance to the semi-finals. The defending champions India will begin the campaign against the West Indies at the Biofuels Oval on Sunday. The opening day's fixtures will see the last edition semi-finalists, who are Australia, taking on Scotland in Group D, while the 2023 runners-up England will be facing Ireland in Group B. The Indian women's team stormed into the Coco World Cup 2025 semi-finals after beating Bangladesh on Friday. The Indian team secured their semi-final berth at the 2025 World Cup after bringing out a commanding 109-16 victory over Bangladesh at the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium in New Delhi. India continued their streak of scoring more than 100 points, making this their 5th consecutive mark in the tournament. The victory has set up an eagerly anticipated semi-final clash on Saturday. News now from the Mahakumbh, the largest religious congregation in the world. At the Mahakumbh 2025, technology is bringing the spiritual experience to a global audience in a whole new way. At the Mahakumbh Digital Experience Center, visitors are being offered an immersive journey into the heart of this massive cultural event. DD India's Siddharth Bardwaj reports.
Divine, grand and digital. This is Mahakumbh 2025. I'm here at the Digital Mahakumbh Experience Center in Prayagraj, where tradition meets technology, and everything here says something. Everything here is unique, mind-blowing and phenomenal. The
Kumbh Experience Center offers a groundbreaking fusion of ancient tradition and cutting-edge technology, allowing visitors to explore the grandeur of the Mahakumbh in an entirely new way. Spanning 60,000 square feet in Sector 3 of the Mahakumbh Mela area, this state-of-the-art digital experience center immerses visitors in the rich cultural and spiritual significance of the Kumbh Mela. With 12 interactive zones featuring advanced technologies like virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, holograms and LED displays, the center brings the essence of the Kumbh Mela to vivid life. This innovative experience offers a captivating educational journey through India's timeless cultural heritage, ensuring every visitor leaves with a deepened appreciation for its spiritual legacy. Upon entering the center, visitors are first greeted with a captivating trailer of Mahakumbh Mela projected on a thread of light. The tale of the Samudra Manthan unfolds on a wooden wall designed to resemble an ancient scroll narrating the story through immersive projections. As guests move forward, they are transported to the Yamunotri Glacier, where they can interact with the virtually flowing Yamuna River, causing the water to ripple with simple touch.
Incredible experience. You can do Deep Dan by just pressing a button. See this.
For all those visiting the Mahakumbh, the Digital Experience Center offers a unique chance to witness ancient stories through a modern lens. Visitors have expressed immense happiness and awe while experiencing the Mahakumbh Experience Center.
I'm totally mesmerized, but at the same time, I think the way the AI and digitalization has been used in this area is extraordinary.
It's beautiful. I mean, you're just getting the culture alive.
The fusion of advanced technology with the spiritual and cultural essence of Kumbh Mela has left many captivated. Many have described the experience as both educational and deeply moving, offering them a fresh perspective on India's timeless cultural and spiritual heritage. The center has truly left a lasting impact on all who visited, sparking a renewed sense of wonder and appreciation. The Mahakumbh Experience Center seamlessly blends tradition and innovation, leaving visitors with a profound connection to India's spiritual legacy.
The Digital Mahakumbh Experience Center is a perfect blend of ancient tradition and modern innovation. This truly is a Kumbh for digital age. With camera person Rakesh Kumar, this is Siddharth Bharadwaj reporting for DD India in Prayagraj.
Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India NewsHour. Let's know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those of you on the go, you can get the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. It's available in both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code and download it now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. My name is Mark Lynn. From all of us here in Delhi, thank you very much for watching DD India NewsHour. Namaskar.